Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and PSG have destroyed Inter Miami 4-0 in their round of 16 game in the Club World Cup. It was a hard watch if you are an Inter fan, Inter Miami fan. Sorry, not an Inter fan. If you are an Inter Miami fan, I mean, it was a really hard watch, to be very honest with you. PSG were miles better. You sort of expected, Inter Miami to show some sort of a fight. If I'm being very honest with you, I mean, it's the round of 16, and they have some good players in their squad. It's not like their squad is not good enough, but you are playing against the European champions, and PSG, the squad that they have, it was always going to be a hard task for Messi and his team. But I mean, it was a bloodbath, to be very honest with you. They're lucky that it's just 4-0. They could have easily made it 10 plus goals, if I'm being very honest with you. In the first half alone, the game ended 4-0, and there were about 7 or 8 chances where PSG could have easily scored. In the second half, I mean, it just felt like, in the second half they really did not try. The start of the game, I mean, they scored in the 4th minute. The entirety of that defense was sleeping. The free kick comes in and nobody is marking João Neves. He goes in so easily, heads it in, nobody is marking him, makes his run quite simply on that right hand side at the far end of the corner and slots in his header, and it becomes 1-0 to PSG. They take the lead, and as I said, it was a relentless from PSG, not letting Inter Miami have a breathing chance, continuously attacking them, and quite quickly it became 2-0 again. João Neves was the guy who scored, and again he should have been marked, but again nobody was really marking him, if I'm being very honest with you. And Fabian Ruiz comes in from that right hand side, makes a really good pass, and he's in an empty net, makes it 2-0 for PSG. Third goal, it was sort of again a similar. Bradley Barcola is the one who was the initiator this time. Again, sends up a cross in towards Fabian Ruiz in the net. It ends up being an on goal, 3-0. Fourth goal just on the stroke of half time. Ashraf Hakimi gets lucky, gets the ball from Barcola again, and it becomes he hits takes a shot, hits the goalkeeper, goes hit the post, comebacks, and he slots it in back, makes it 4-0. And that was just the first half. I mean there were chances for Takalia where he could have easily had a brace there as well. There were chances for Barcola, there was chances for Ruiz. He scored as well, which was ruled offside. So that's what I'm saying, like it was so easy. Second half comes in and it was basically the same. Inter Miami, they were never in that game. They had a couple of half-hearted attempts, but they never really troubled PSG in that game. They never really threatened PSG in that game, and it was quite an easy game. Even though it was Miami's hometown, they had the fans behind them, but they never looked like they were going to have any sort of they were going to have any sort of luck against PSG. If I'm being very honest with you, it never looked like they were any sort of a challenge for PSG. It always felt like it was a walk in the park for the Parisians, and they treated this game and they played that game like it was a walk in the park, to be very honest with you. It was a man against boys, and Messi himself, he couldn't really do anything. They shut him up quite comprehensively, quite easily. Nothing was nothing really came to Messi. He was not really able to do anything. And to be very honest with you, I keep on saying, like, we expected it to happen, but the thing is, a lot of things are expected, but you need to go out and you need to complete the deal, and you need to show up, and that's what PSG did. A lot of the fans are going to say that that's what was expected of PSG to do it, but it still takes it still takes doing. You still need to go out and you need to get the job done, and PSG did that. They went there, even though I think this is sort of a different kind of a pressure, because everybody thinks that you are going to win, so you are expected to win. Even like, for example, now they have won and nobody's really going to beat tonight because they just beat Inter Miami. But on the flip side, if somehow the game would have gone in extra time or something like that, or if they somehow, God forbid, if they would have lost, then that pressure is a different type of pressure that the PSG players and the managers would have faced. Imagine PSG losing from Inter Miami, the headlines that would have made. So that's a different kind of pressure that these players are going to be in. Our fans don't really think about it in that sense. But again, as I said, it doesn't really matter who you are playing. You still need to go out and do the job. And again, it is football. We have seen so many times, it doesn't really matter who you are playing on the day. It only matters is which team is really up for it and which team really wants it. And today PSG really wanted it. so beautiful they played. I've been saying this, even though PSG is supposed to be the bad guy, having all this money and what on the way that they play football. I mean, it looks really really good to watch when PSG play, the way that they build up the play, the way that they move the ball, they are pressing. I mean, it is simply sensational. And of course, against Inter Miami, it became in my opinion, it became quite easy for them, because the way that PSG have played since last season, the way that they press, I mean, most teams in Europe are not really able to defend against that. They are not really able to overpower their pressing, and they are not really able to play the game. I mean, Arsenal struggled against them, Inter Milan struggled against them, and even though Liverpool struggled against them as well, and in the league as well, they have been simply sensational, and they showed that today as well. For Inter Miami, I mean, it is a learning thing for to be very honest with you. Like, for them, it is a learning thing. You are playing against probably the best team in the world at the moment, and I would not be surprised if PSG end up winning the Club World Cup. So for the players for Inter Miami, I know a lot of them are seasons pro. I mean, you had Sergio Busquets, you had Lionel Messi, you had Jordi Alba. These are really experienced players, but then again you have some young players who are playing there as well. So it's sort of a learning curve. You need to realize, and these players need to learn, and they need to look at how PSG is playing the football, how they are making their moments. I mean, the way the sorry about that. I mean, the spaces that they had during the corners, during the free kicks, during any set piece where there was nobody was really marking anybody. It was a free for all for PSG. It was so easy for them to move around Inter Miami. So it is a learning thing for the players in Inter Miami. There are young players as well, so they need to have a look at this game, and they need to look at this again and again. If and I know again people are not going to take it seriously, but as I said, it's a learning thing for a lot of these players, and PSG players again themselves, they are going to be really happy about it. It doesn't really matter, they are playing in a Club World Cup. I know there are a lot of fans and a lot of pundits who are not really happy with it. I have my reservations about this tournament, but when you are in a tournament, of course you are here to compete and you want to win, and that's what PSG have done. They have won, and for Inter Miami, even I would say that it is a bigger loss for Inter Miami than it's a win for PSG, because for Inter Miami, like, they are sort of representing American football, so it's a bigger loss, and they would want to go, because the more they play in this type of tournaments, the more they are going to learn. So I think again, even though they have lost, and it is a humiliating defeat, let's be very honest about it, but again, I would think that they would in their mind, they would be like, yeah, we have learned something about it from this game, and they would like to take forward. For PSG, a comfortable win. Now they can rest and they can wait who they are going to face in the quarterfinals, and now in my opinion, now the tournament is really really starting to get good. We are going to start to have the supposedly big teams coming in together, and now the good stages of the tournament, in my opinion. No disrespect to any of the teams that have been in the group stages, but I still think a lot of the matches now that we are going to get are going to be really really interesting. I mean, we had that Chelsea Benfica game last night, which was quite something, and I think we are going to have now games that are going to be quite interesting. For PSG, congratulations qualifying for the quarterfinal, yet another trophy that they can win after a treble, so it's a big thing for them. Inter Miami, unfortunately, they are running the Club World Cup ends at this point, and let's hope they are back in 4 years time. That's it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of PSG's performance, and do you think PSG are the favorite to win the entire competition? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of July, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.